Welcome everybody to Mesh TV's exclusive Time with the Aspirants. We want to delve deep into the lives of our KTU SRC presidential candidates and know their minds for the student populace. I have with me here number 3 on the ballot sheet. Sowah is a brother. Sowah is a brother. Thank you so much, Mr. Sowah, for honoring our call. Thank you so much. It's an honor having you.
It's a pleasure to be on this big platform.
Yes.
Big shout out to Mesh TV and all their good work they are doing on campus.
Yes. Before we dive into what you stand for, we want to know who is Sowah Emmanuel. What do you stand for? Take us through your journey so far in KTU.
Okay. So, like you rightly said, Sowah Emmanuel is my name. Sowah Emmanuel Adgei is my name. I am a level 300 computer science student. This is my 4th year on campus. I've been here for quite a while now. So I did HND as a regular student, and now I'm doing computer science. So that is basically who I am. I worship with Penta on campus, and I'm a member of the Methodist Church as well. So that is who I am. So Emmanuel.
Wonderful. At this point, the electoral, or should I say political atmosphere on campus is very tense, right? I've seen aspirants go to and fro, going with their campaigns and all, and I've realized that most of them actually exhaust themselves. But I want to know, for Team Sowah, what has been your motivation and drive all this while? Why do you want to aspire for KTU's SRC president, and what pushes you to be relentless towards this agenda?
Okay, so when I started the agenda, I was Team Sowah. Now I am Team Sohan because I've gotten a magnificent lady, a hardworking lady, a purpose driven lady who shares the same ideas with mine, and we have decided to unite to champion this SRC agenda. So for me, when I started, the whole idea has been the student. And then in my quest to become the next SRC president, I have looked at all the SRC presidents who have contested and who have won. And I've realized that there's something unique about me, that if I should stand for the position, I'll be able to help the students. And there's capacity. Capacity. I've realized that I have so much capacity that because of this capacity that I have, I'll be in the better position to serve the students. Because I feel like even though any of us in this year's SRC elections deserve to be the next SRC president, I've done critical analysis and I've realized that I have capacity more than any of them. And it's not just a slight capacity, it's an overwhelming capacity that I possess ahead of all the other candidates who are in this year's SRC election. And so for me, it's two things. The fact that the students need someone to be their voice, and then the fact that somebody could actually lead who has the capacity. And that has been my drive all this while.
So Sowah says the students need someone to be their voice, and he has the capacity to take on that mantle, right? But before anything, I would like to say that the Beast Concert 2025, organized by DJ Slim Beast, will be taking place at Omni Event and Play Center in Koforidua. Date is Saturday, 27th September 2025. Time is 2 p.m. We will have various artists performing live. Olive the Boy, Kofi Mole, Swave Music, and many more. So tickets go for 50 cedis for regular and 100 cedis for VIP. Purchase yours and go and have a fun time. 27th September 2025. So, Mr. Sowah, moving on, I would like to get to know your mind for the student populace. What's your vision for KTU's SRC, and how do you want to achieve it? How are you going to achieve that vision, if I may ask?
Okay, so I think one of the main things, one of my vision is to make sure that if I become the SRC president, the Student Representative Council is not just another arm of administration or management, but to drive positive change using that office. And it will interest you to know, I mean, people already know, but they don't understand the magnitude of it, because the biggest stakeholder in this institution, Koforidua Technical University, is the students. I always see that without the students, we don't have an institution. So I struggle to understand why the biggest stakeholder is the student, and yet the biggest stakeholder has less influence on the decisions about the school, and it baffles me a lot. And that is why one of the reasons why I wanted to become the SRC president, because I've looked closely at the SRC president that have gone by, and I've seen that they are just another tool of management or administration. And so for me, personally, one of the vision I have, aside my policies and the things that I feel like students are having problems with, and if I become the SRC president, I'll be able to address it. We should be able to move the SRC from just being another tool of management to our institutions that is the biggest stakeholder on campus.
Wonderful, wonderful. But I want to get to know, to you, what is the most pressing challenge you've observed on campus, right? And how do you intend solving them or it with your policies?
Okay, so like I said earlier on, I said that the biggest stakeholder is the student. And the biggest challenge is the fact that the students' voices are not being heard. So more importantly, you need a leader who can champion these voices. You need a leader that will make sure that these students are not being taken for granted. Say, for example, we have a school clinic on campus that works only from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it means that after 5 p.m. or 8 p.m., your next options or your best option, which is the school clinic, it's not even working. And that is students being exploited. And there's nobody to talk for them. There's nobody to see anything for them. We have an institution that almost every 2 or 3 years, school fees are being increased. But you have SRC presidents who sometimes do nothing or a little about these problems, and it baffles me a lot. We have students who pay SRC dues, and an SRC administration will come and will decide whether this group of students get a souvenir, an SRC souvenir or not, which is a problem. We have students who have a lot of problems, yet they can't voice it out because they believe they have an SRC or an SRC executive or an SRC council who should be taking up some of these things for them, and yet we are not doing that thing for them. So I believe that I'm in a place. So like I said, I have capacity, and I am a firm leader. I am someone who is not afraid to speak to people who are in authority, especially if it has to do with the people I'm leading. And that is the most challenging thing for me. The fact that the biggest stakeholder is being taken advantage of. That is my biggest problem.
That's the most pressing challenge.
Yes, that's the most pressing challenge.
So can you run us through your policies, and so that we will see how these policies tend to tackle this challenge?
Yes, of course. So my policies have been carefully crafted to meet the needs of every student on campus, irrespective of your background, irrespective of your department, irrespective of your faculty, irrespective of where you come from, whether you are rich, whether you are poor. There are policies that are carefully crafted to meet every need of every student, irrespective of your background. So my policies are divided into two. We have the policy for the regular school, then we have the policy for the weekend school. And then in all these policies, they've clearly been segmented into entertainment, sports, and technology and innovation, academics, welfare, and health. And that is where our policy stands for. Because I have been a regular student before, now I'm the weekend stream, I have identified problems facing regular school and also problems facing weekend school. And that is why I am the only candidate who have the policies for both weekend and regular school. So I'll quickly run you through some of the policies that we have for the regular school. So we have policies like getting an SRC bus. Now, one of the reasons why I want an SRC bus is because when I came to 1100, in weeks like this, where we are in exams week, you have to come and study on campus and return back to your hostel. There was a shuttle service, and the bus that was providing the service was the SRC bus. Unfortunately, as we speak now, those buses are not there again because a one-time president sold all of them. So as part of my policy, we want to have a bus. One of the things I've seen is that our internet connection on campus is bad. So In taking cue from other universities, I realized that they have data sim. But then again, I realized that almost all the SRC presidents who became SRC presidents, one way or the other, promised data sim, yet they didn't deliver. I've tried to see where the problem is, but I struggle. I've not found the problem. But I don't want to be an SRC president who make promises and is not able to live up to those promises. So we have said that the data sim will be for only weekend schools. So my policy for the weekend schools is to get them data sims. But for the regular school, we are doing what we call Starlink. And I see the faces on students anytime I mention Starlink because a lot of them are oblivious about Starlink. So let me take this up. Starlink is an Elon Musk innovation where you need only the sky to access internet connection. Unlike the telcos where you have long poles, for Starlink you don't need that. And Starlink is able to give you 100 to 150 megabytes per second. And no telcos, I repeat, no telcos, whether MTN, whether Vodafone is giving you that. Now, what we want to do with the Starlink is to configure it in a way where you can only access it with your student ID so that we don't have outsiders operating on this network. We don't have excess traffic on it so that students will be able to use it. So we are installing Starlinks and using access points names to spread the network across campus. So that's what we are doing for internet. We are also doing what we call the SRC app. Of course, I am SRC app. Yes, application. So a mobile app. Yes. So I'm a computer science student. So it will be unfair to become a president and not have an office where we deal with stars with technology and innovation. Yes. So as part of my policies, we want to have a committee called Technology and Innovation Committee, where they'll be handling issues about technology and stuff. So we are developing an app for the SRC. Now let me talk welfare because the things in my welfare policies are things that are very important. So welfare, we are doing three things. We are making sure that the school clinic works after 8 p.m. where students can still access the clinic after 8 p.m. And level 100, when I came, you only need your student ID to access healthcare. Today, the narrative has changed. We want to bring that back so that in the event where you don't have health insurance, you will still be able to access healthcare for free. Then we are also adding a layer to the already existing food bank. So for students, you know that the food bank this year has not been active. And I explained to students that sometimes it's not the fault of this KTU because we have a sponsor who is sponsoring it and it's not coming up. So for us, we want to keep the food bank running, but we are adding a layer where we have specific days that we actually cook the food that is already at the food bank and give it to students. So we'll pack the food. So this time you don't need to come to us and prove to us that you are hungry. If you come and you say you want food, we'll give it to you. But we are giving priority to exams week, where we'll take 2 or 3 days in exams week for the 3 weeks and actually cook breakfast and lunch for students who want to come and eat, and then we'll serve these students. Then we have a policy for driver's license and also passports. And for students who do not only want to graduate with student ID, you will have a chance to also go home with a passport or a driver's license at a subsidized cost. So that's what you are doing. Also for welfare, we are doing what we call the SRC quick loan. So there's a student loan trust fund that when we apply, it takes like 3 months. Sometimes the whole semester and it's not coming. So we are saying, as you wait for this student loan, as you wait for a parent to send you money, as you wait for a partner to send you money, the SRC wants to cushion you a little. So we'll be partnering with any of the financial institutions to give soft loans to these our students, so that as and when your money comes, you can easily pay this money and still access this money. So these are some of the policies that we are going through. Let me quickly run through 2 of the policy for the weekend students. It has to do with academics. The academics, we are doing 2 things. One has to do with the school library that do not work on weekends. We want to make sure that during weekends these libraries are working, and also what it has to do with attachments. So I've realized that as a weekend school, you also do the same attachment as the regular school. So you do 5 days a week for 8 weeks, as a regular student also does it. But we all know that weekend students are weekend students for a reason. It means that they are working, so they cannot come to regular school. So they need the money, but the attachment is also an academic related activities. So if you don't have attachments, of course you fail. So we want to advocate for the reduction on the number of days for attachments for weekend school, so that you not do 5 days for 8 weeks, but you do 2 or 3 days for 8 weeks, so that you can juggle between your work and your attachment, so that you don't lose the academic activity. Also, you don't lose your work as well. So that's what you are doing for the weekend school, and also making sure that the health clinic also works on weekends. The last thing I want to talk about is our sanitation, specifically our washroom. So we are saying that it is the responsibility of management to fix broken washroom. So for advocacy, we'll take lead in that. But there are things that we can add to our budget to make sure that washrooms are working well. Say toilet rolls, liquid soap, hand sanitizers. We'll be making provisions for some of these things in our washroom, so that anytime you go there, you don't have to struggle to wash your hand or to use a tissue picker. Also, we want to patronize polytanks to place advantage points of the washroom, so that in the event where the water is not flowing, these polytanks will act as a reservoir for our washroom. So these are some of my policies that we are bringing on board. Thank you. I hope I didn't speak a lot.
Oh, you didn't speak a lot. Mr. Sowah ran us through a long list, right? Yes, he has really been doing his underground works, and I feel you really have all this thought out, right?
Yes.
They are very, very thought out, and all the things you mentioned are actually big time challenges we are facing on campus. Everybody would attest to that fact, right? But I've been engaging with other aspirants, and I can see most of these initiatives run through some of their policies as well. So I would like to ask the audience, I'd like to ask you, what makes you distinct? What makes you unique? What makes you the man for the job coming 2026 academic year?
Okay, so in my quest to become the next SRC president, I speak about two things. I speak about capacity and policies. And like you said, clearly, there are some of our policies that run through other candidates' policies. And it should clearly tell you how pressing those needs are, and how each and every one of us wants to fix it. So, for example, like the school bars, everybody wants to fix it, like the issues with the washrooms. But there are policies that I have that you can only have that policies if you are Sowah. Because you need someone who is a generational thinker. You need someone who is a good leader to be able to come out with some of these policies. And I kid you not, one is the financial aid flexibility, where students who have not registered for the second semester cannot apply for financial aid flexibility. It only takes Sowah and Hannah to discover such a policy. It only takes Sowah and Hannah to discover that you actually need a license and a passport before you eventually graduate. It only takes Sowah and Hannah to know that we need Starlinks also on campus to boost internet accessibility. It only takes Sowah and Hannah to know that we need to add a layer to our already food bank policy that we have. And some of these policies are policies that do not reflect in any of the candidates' policy. For example, when it has to do with attachments, I don't think any of the candidates have thought it through about getting reducing the number of days for attachments for weekend school. So clearly, some of our policies are in other candidates' policies, but we have policies that do not reflect in any of the candidates' policies, and that is what sets me apart. Also, I have said in several times that any of us aspiring for the positions equally deserve to become the next SRC president. But myself and Hannah will stand out clearly. Why? It's because of capacity and leadership experience. So for my running mate, he was once the WUCOM for his faculty of Health and Allied Science. He's currently the health and welfare officer for the current administration for SRC. And he has championed a lot of activities. For example, renewing free NHIs for over 200 students on campus, organizing a health conference on campus, and also organizing a dental program on campus. Myself, when I wanted to become the SRC president, I knew that the SRC president is the highest portfolio on campus. So why not get experience so that in the event where you become or you hold the office of the highest portfolio on campus, you will have gathered experience. So I'll quickly run you through some of the portfolios I've held that no candidates come close to these portfolios that I've come to mention. So in level 100, I was the volleyball captain for the school when I represented the school at Temali and also at Cape Coast this year. Also in the same level 100, I became the leader for my faculty debate group, where I was part of the team that ended the CCL run for engineering students when they were dominating debate on campus. We had to take myself and another student from computer science or faculty of applied science and technology to end that. In that same level 100, myself and one other computer science student, Obenpom, represented the Faculty of Business and Management Studies, that is FBMS, at the tertiary debate competition at University of Cape Coast. And it's interesting to do that. Out of all the students we have on FBMS, we were so humbled and privileged that we have to represent FBMS in this debate competition. In level 200, I became the Chief Justice for Computer Science Department. That same level 200, I became the organizer for the Faculty of Applied Science and Technology, where I organized the first ever faculty awards night, and we named it the Noel Fast Awards. And level 300, I became the vice president for organs and language on campus. I went on to become the TESCOM president, and I am the only candidate who has ever been a president. Who has ever been a president? No candidate in this SRC election has ever held any presidential position on campus. And this is distinct. This is outstanding. And this clearly identifies me out of every candidate in this year's elections.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you have capacity? Sowah has capacity. Sowah.
Yes.
Sowah is a brother.
To everyone.
Okay. So I would like to ask, you've been listing all your prowess, your success and all, but during this SRC campaign, this journey so far, what has been your challenges in your campaigns, in your runs, in this race, right? What has been some of the challenges you are facing, and how did you address those challenges?
So I think one of the biggest challenges I face is students painting me black.
Well,
yes, and I know
it's not surprising.
It's not surprising. It's kind of expected that people will tell you bad things just to favor people. And for us, a reason why, and I felt like some of it is my fault, because we have people on campus who will clearly tell other candidates that they will vote for Sowah. So in your quest to deceive them or to sway them from voting for Sowah to you, then that is where the dirty comes in. Because if you remember, election was supposed to be held last 2 weeks, Friday. Okay, so all the aspirants or all the candidates sign an MOU saying that we want to have the election on Friday, and then the students said that so we can't exclude the weekend students. So let's have an online session for them. But in my quest to continue my campaign, even though that election didn't happen, our first student says that I am the reason why the election was not held on that day, and I'm causing chaos, I'm causing fear and panic. And it came to me as a surprise. I've also heard students tell other students from other departments that because I'm not in other departments or other faculties, they shouldn't vote for me. I've also heard students come to tell me that other candidates have come to tell them that if they vote for me, I will not give them appointments, so they should vote for them instead. I've had students who have come to me and told me that they said I smile a lot, but secretly I am a wicked person, so they shouldn't vote for me. And I find it quite challenging that other candidates will go around and be saying the stuff about people. And that has been my biggest challenge. The fact that you have a clear conscience and you have time to sell your policies. Honestly, when I go out to campaign, the portfolios that I've told you, the policies that I want to embark on if I become the president, I don't even get time to see all of them. So I will not even get time to talk about any candidates. Yet other candidates get time to talk about me and say all bad stuff about me. And that has been the most challenging. But I am fine. I am fine. But it has been challenging. Telling people all these things are false. And you know, you can't tell every student because for all you know, it might be far gone. I've also had instances where other candidates from other faculties have told students that especially, let me be specific, the FBMS department. And the last time we had the presidential debate, I stated there emphatically that last year, when I was the TESCOM president, I was having free matriculation photo shoots for every first year. I didn't say because you are from FBMS, I will not take you, but I saw that every student needed a free photo shoot, so we did it for everyone. Even this year, when I was doing it, this year I organized a free photo shoot, matriculation photo shoot for every first year. I didn't handpick. I didn't say because you are from this faculty, I won't take you. Or when I was doing freshers year, last year and this year, when I was assisting students to settle down, I didn't say, oh, because I'm not, you are not from FBMS, so I'll not take your picture. When I was called upon then by Honorable Samuel, the past FO for SRC, popular known as Budget Master, and now the HOD for accountancy, Dr. Bwedi, to come and represent FBMS at the tertiary debate at Kipkus, I didn't decline and say that, oh, I'm not an FBMS student, so I will not represent FBMS. But I saw it as a privilege. I saw it as an honor to even represent FVMS, because at the end of the day, FVMS students are also students. Computer science students are also students. Every student in every department, every faculty are students. So it's quite appalling when people go out and tell other students from other faculties that they should not vote for me because I'm not from that department. And that has been one of the most challenging things I have faced.
To my viewers, I would like to state emphatically that Sowah is a brother. Stop making him emotional. You guys are touching his big heart. You are touching his big heart. I feel today you just have to pour your heart out,
yes,
right? Yes, and it's good. It's good you have you are calling some of these things out to clear your name. This platform is just the best opportunity for you to do that. I'll give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, right, to sell yourself out there to the student populace. Why should we vote for Sowah? Call your votes, rally your support in 2 minutes.
Okay. So hello, lovely people of Koforidua Technical University. My name is Emmanuel Adgei Sowah. You can call me Sowah is a brother. And Sowah is a brother for a reason, because in my journey to become the next SRC president, first day I stepped on campus, I've made it my priority to be a brother to every student, irrespective of your department, irrespective of your faculty, irrespective of your level, irrespective of your gender, and irrespective of your ethnical background. And that is what I stand for. I stand for every student on campus, most especially if you are a Koforidua Technical University student. And today, your brother is aspiring for the highest portfolio on campus, which is the SRC president. And it's even more important to have your brother or to have your family member in that office, because you know that they say that if you have your family member somewhere, he'll be in the best position to help you anytime you need him. So today, Hannah and Sowah have united. Like I said, I'm the only presidential candidate with a female vice president, because now Ghana's parliament have passed a law called the Affirmative Action Bill, and that is why we are having an all-inclusive government for the Team Swan. Yes. So today, I call on every KTU student to rally their support behind Sowah and Hannah as we take Koforidua Technical University Student Representative Council to the next level. Vote for Sowah and Hannah as your next SRC president and vice president. We are number 3 on the ballot paper, and we see Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you so
Sowah.
much for
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Such a honor to be here.
Yes.
And when God eventually make us the winners, we'll come back again and be on Mesh TV.
Of course.
We are
here for you.
For giving us this huge platform.
We are here for you. Thank you.